Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the final game of Talent League's Minor League Season 5, I believe. I'm not really used to opening this, but I am Blixby, and I am here with other side. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Rick, and I've casted a few games elsewhere, not here. This is the first time casting, and unfortunately, it is the last game of the season. And well, the stakes are really, really not high, unfortunately. But it would be an interesting game to watch anyway, as we get into it, because well, the map, well, it's Consulate. I'm just excited for Consulate. Like, when was the last time you casted Consulate, really?
I never ever see Constant being played. I mean, after this season now, if I'm not mistaken, it is being removed from the competitive pool. So this could be the last time we ever see Consulate played. In Talent
In
League, at least. I mean,
in any level of
yeah.
competition, really.
Mm.
And well,
And
I mean, I welcome the change. I like Bank. I just have a little boyhood crush for Bank over Consulate. So I'll take it over Consulate any day. But nonetheless, let's see what the two teams can bring out from their strat book for the last time as it's being played on Consulate. I was gonna say they might just save strats if this is the last game of the season, but it's Consulate. It's gonna go. So they can just throw out any strats they want and just try to put up a competitive game for the audience to watch. That's
and that
that's at least what I'm hoping, because unfortunately there is no stakes for this game. No matter who wins or loses, they're not going to make playoffs.
yeah.
It's the two bottom team, not the bottom team. There are six and sevens.
Mm.
So give me 1 second. So right now, right now, Elysium is seventh, and Lost Souls are sixth. So whoever wins will get the sixth spot, but it doesn't do anything. So
Yeah,
no
it's
stakes.
just a little bit of an ego boost over the other team. That's all this is going to be. But I mean, it's Consulate, so it is going to be a nice little farewell to one of our very not very well rarely played maps. I mean, we only have one game to go off of from these two teams on Consulate, which I believe Lost Souls lost 1-7 to Team Manic Academy. So we haven't really got much to go off of on these teams on Consulate, so it'd be completely new from like for majority of the viewers here. See how these teams cope on Consulate. Like it's just one of those maps, and you can play so many different variations of it. Like you can play really heavily on the roam, play really aggressive, really frag heavy, or completely turtle it. It's just I don't see it play very often, so there's not much I can go off of on that. But I do love a bit of console. I do like enjoy playing it like almost like a ranked style. It's a very frag heavy map, being very small. It just gives you so much like leeway to go for like these roams, go for these massive plays, just like sneaking up behind the like defenders or even just on the attackers. It's just the tables can turn so quickly on console. It's just one thing I love to watch.
Well, you don't see Consulate because the map pool in Tier 4 of Siege competition only consists of Clubhouse, Oregon, and Villa. Sometimes the occasional cafe, but there's
Yeah,
only four
cafe every
maps,
so often.
very rarely. And then and then it turns out to be a some 7-0 game. So a lot of the
Yeah.
times. So not really a lot of bangers personally, but I'm just speaking from personal experience. But either way, we're gonna see Consulate, and that's the best part. So there's not much to say about that for now. And let's just call it a bidding farewell to the map, as it's gonna be gone very soon. And also, just aside from the fact that the map isn't in part of the tier 4 map pool, I would say that the biggest issue of this map is that it has a lot of windows. So the
Yeah.
top four, if you play it right, you just can't play it. I mean, if you play it right as an attacker, the defenders just cannot play it. If you have everything cut off from the windows, you pretty much just can go jump in and play it. And then that is just about it. Really, there's nothing to say about it. It's pretty broken. And then the basement is probably the best site. Then the lobby and archive. No one really knows how to play archives in tier 4 realistically. So it's basically not a site at all.
Yeah, and like
So
once you take sorry, go on.
sorry. No, sorry. You go on.
I was just saying, like, Archive's the only really real way to play it, especially at this level, is with a mirror. You take the mirror off the board, and no team is even going to touch Archives. It's just one of those things, and like, I was gonna say, with even on the other sites, it's just a case of there's always this one direction that every T4 team seems to go for. Like on Garage, like, even though there's multiple ways to push it, it's always gonna be the case of get the breach and then that's it. Even though you could go from a Visa push, you could take. There's so much different variations, but it's always the same old, same old. Same goes for top floor. Pushing in admin seems to be like the go-to. But I mean, there's ways to tackle it, obviously, but it seems that I'm expecting at least to be the same kind of repetitive attacks and defenses coming out from the two teams.
Yeah, and sometimes you can have some teams try to go for that Pro League strat with the post downstairs and the mute and all the C4s. And then the attackers just rush in and plant because they're not watching it properly. It always
Yeah.
happens. I've actually never seen a successful post C4 defense that way in Tier 4, unfortunately. So
Yeah, I've seen some interesting things, and I've never seen that work. I've actually watched a team. I can't remember who it was. I watched one, and they had the pulse over in archives for the entire round. Not once did a single attacker push anywhere near that, and he sat there even whilst the bomb was being like planted. He just sat in archives, holding his ground, and it was something. It was something.
well, now in terms of well, we can touch upon another topic, which is the playoff that is to come in about 13 days. So on the 20th of September is the first playoff match of the season. And well, obviously, we said it. We said that this match has no stakes because none of these teams can make it to that playoff. But on the other hand, the top two of this minor group are Ninso and Blue Jays, and they can make that playoff, going up against Ur Sports and QVG Academy, respectively. And then they'll meet the major winners, the two top teams in the major, up. Well, yeah, up there. So in the semifinals on the 22nd of September and the 23rd of September, they will play the two major winners. So it will be quite a sight to see. And then of course we'll cap it off with a really great best of 5. So as always, just stay tuned for those matches because I believe those will be bangers, especially with the best of 3s. It means that for the first time, well, not for the first time, but maybe just finally the T4 teams will have to play more than one map. So they can play Oregon, but then they will be forced to play at least one other map. And usually that might be Clubhouse, but if they ban Clubhouse, then we can actually see more of these maps in action. So, more of Cafe, more of Coastline, more of Chalet Villa, and Bank.
I
I
don't
can't
know
wait to see
mine.
Bank.
I've casted a best of 5, which Consular and Coastline got banned. And this is back with Theme Park. But yeah.
Wow.
Right, we think we're ready to go now. I believe the two teams have finally joined the lobby. So let's just see where this takes us. Oh, this is going to be fun. I'm not sure if this is going to be an actual serious game or if these players are going to go out with a bang. Like, I want some little jokes going on. But, I mean, it would also be nice to actually see it being played seriously, I suppose.
Okay, so it's gonna be a Thatcher ban, not even close.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I swear, like a Thatcher is like a muscle memory band at this point. Even with his changes where he's not as strong as he previously was, he's still always off the board. He just provides way too much like help for the side of the attackers. Getting this breach, especially on like Consulate, where the main push is always going to be Garage. That's the main defense. That's the main push. Taking Thatcher off limits it a little bit, but I mean, he's only really useful on the bottom floor, so. I'm not so sure how I feel about that. And the Flores. I like that.
That makes so much sense.
I actually quite like a Flores ban because he is quite a strong operator. I mean, he provides like a small amount of inset with his drones as well as destroying so much utility and like creating like holes and stuff like that as well. He's such a useful like attacker. Doesn't get played as often as he should. I mean, yeah, the Kite as well coming out with the Thatcher. It comes hand in hand.
It just happens. And well, the thing is, we just had the patch go down, right? So what I can possibly imagine that the strat that Lost Souls, Illysium on defense are gonna go for is that they're gonna play the mute jammer without the cape. They probably anticipated the cape ban. So they're playing the mute. Obviously the Valkyrie ban is pretty normal. I'm gonna deviate for a second. Everyone bans Valkyrie on this map. You can just throw cams outside and run out. It's pretty broken. Like,
It
a lot
is.
of people want Valkyrie to be reworked or nerfed because of this map and how strong she is on it. So, back on the mute topic, right? They probably expected Lost Souls to go for the usual attack. So, without any sort of breach denial, they would just bring the mute. But if they're not bringing the mute, then the watch is gonna get open free. And right now, I think the strategy is gonna be that Elysium. Well, they're not even gonna go for the garage. I was just waffling. And now they're gonna go to archive because the first site that the site that we just talked about how terrible and no one plays it in archive, they're actually gonna be the first site for Elysium. That means, and additionally, Pulse is on the board. Pulse, Mozzie, Mira, 3C4s. That's what
Yes.
exactly what we just talked about like 10 minutes ago. So, well, do you think they're going to be successful?
Attackers need to locate
I mean,
and
it's a
defuse
possibility.
bombs.
It all depends on how these attackers are going to go for it. I mean, in my personal opinion, when it comes to having this mirror and a whole set of C4s, I personally like going for the horizontal push. Since then, they're not able to utilize the pulse and stuff as much as they wanted to. But a lot of teams do end up just taking the verticals down, top down, just to try and clear it out. Although I don't see that as strong as an option, it definitely is viable and it definitely is reasoning behind it. But like, this is going to be such a default sort of hold here. Holding these stairs with a mirror window, so you can hold up
10 seconds
into.
left before
Like
insertion.
archives, always this tellers is the above one, isn't it? I always mess them up. Holding the
The
tellers.
sellers above it.
Yeah, to deny the plan, and this is going to be the same old. But
Attackers' objective is to locate a bomb and
it
defuse.
doesn't look like they are taking it seriously though, so which is going to be like a nice game to see, I suppose, rather than them running out with shotguns. But,
Well, the
yeah.
thing is that. Wait a minute. Is there a shotgun? No, it's not a shotgun on the walls. Because we said it for a second. But okay, so it's going to be a horizontal push here from Lost Souls. So they're not going to go for the pretty much the normal case of just going straight for tellers, right? And just trying to go for the plant. But the thing is that now they're going to be faced with a lot of hard walls put up by Elysium. And a very aggressive play from Chaps. This is actually very, very dangerous. Because he can get very easily swung and die. And now he's put on 1 HP and he just still swings it. And if someone on Lost Souls still held that, then he is basically a dead man. And that Mozzie pass is going to prevent him from droning. So at least he should tell his teammate to do that, you know? Take out that Mozzie pass. Renee will go out and will at least do some damage to Spox. Okay, not Spox. That's hard to count. But, oh, a little bit of a gunfight here coming out from Sneakies against someone on top of the archive stairs. And, well, not gonna kill that defender, but this one will die. The double kill, though. That is a down onto Smoke. He might not get revived here if the swing will come out. Come on, Habana. You have one shot.
Aww.
Oh, he doesn't get it. But he does know where the last... Well, he does know where the attackers are coming from because Twiff has gotten 2 kills. And now he's made it an equal fight for his team.
Question in this defense, just the slightest bit. Like the second mirror went in behind that little. Oh, never mind, because bullying doesn't get taken out by the Hibana from behind it. I mean, as I was saying, the hat's directly above that other one, so I'm not sure if it's the most viable. And I do believe the attackers right there did just line up directly for that to get the double onto them. So it's a bit interesting. I'm not really sure what's going on as of right now. I've been playing on these hatches, probably the play. I mean, Alex gets the kill onto the Jaeger, leaving Twiff now in a 1v2 situation. 1v1 situation, he gets a 3rd kill of the round. I mean, Alopex here on about 60 HP isn't really much of a position to try and get this. I mean, he has control of his site here, but with Diffuser miles away from where he is, all Twiff has to do is just hold his ground.
This round has mostly just been 1v1s. They just keep
Yeah.
trading back and forth. But the thing is, Twiff has now given up the diffuser control. If Alopex realizes, then it's pretty much an easy plant, and then it's have to be a retake. And there's
Attackers have
25
recovered their
seconds left
diffuser.
for the attacker to do so. So it's going to be a bit of a tense situation. And the thing is, the G8, right? It's actually a really good gun, especially with the recent buff to it. It's not an on-paper buff,
15
but
seconds to go.
in this gunfight, I think I would expect
Attackers
Alopex to win it.
activating diffuser.
And if Twiff cannot swing him right, then it's gonna be a bit of an issue. Ooh, a bit of a dangerous cross coming out from him. That made him visible to the IQ, and now he will have to find Alopex amongst all of these servers. And Alopex, he's trying to stay quiet, and he doesn't know where. Mira doesn't know where the IQ is, and he's gonna get swung by Alopex to really close out an exhilarating round.
That was such a close call. I mean, it was looking so close there because it was just the trades coming through. It was like, it was going from one to another, like having like the advantage there. Mira being able to take out the 3 of them, almost getting the 4K. But I suppose with that plan, all he had to do was sit on that defuse there. Realistically, he had the long angle onto it. He was in a safe position, and they had a rough idea where the IQ was. Not sure what the idea was on the little bit of a flank. I mean, it could have potentially worked if he had the intel within sight, but I don't think that was really something to go off of there.
Oh, they're playing garage and they're playing mute. I said it. They're
Yeah,
going
you
to play
did
mute.
say, yeah.
And it's really not going to work for them, honestly. It's not going to work because the mute nerf is real. It's awful. I mean, awful as in it's awful to play as mute now, to deny the wall,
Yeah.
but in terms of meta-wise, it's a really healthy nerf, in my opinion. But that means that the strategy from Illysium will be easily circumvented because they have the Hibana, so they can shoot above the top part of the wall where the mute jammer will not get those pellets, and then they can open up the hole and nade over. So there's not really anything that they're going to be able to do to deny this wall opening. If we're being realistic here, if anything, they should just play Bandit, but Bandit trick has not been meta for quite a while now, unfortunately. So, you know.
They've got the Aruni there. I mean, she is going to be able to deny some of the utility coming through the created by the Hibana.
Attackers are heading
But I
out.
suppose that they have got 9 flashbangs and 2 smokes in hand. I don't think burning the Arunis and the ADS is going to be much of an issue for them if they communicate effectively.
Well, so far, Lost Souls have not made any effort to push upstairs, but they have made some effort to just go for the wall straight, and they can do it for free. The thing is, the mute jammer is not being taken out. Oh, that's weird. The mute jammer is... Oh, I think some... Oh yeah, that's
IQ.
it. IQ.
Just shooting it through the wall. I mean, we got the kill onto the IQ, I believe, and the plant. Is the plant going down already?
Drop the bomb diffuser.
Oh, that goes taking out the Hibana. I mean, it was a bit of a risky play going straight for the plant, but Alex getting the team kill and just sneaking. We'll leave it down to a 1v. I don't even know what the situation was there, to be honest with you, but Mozzie getting that final kill. That was a risky play from Hibana. I mean, they had the control. Realistically, if the C4 wasn't there, I think he could have come it through, but obviously utilizing that C4 was expected, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what the plan was. I'm kind of confused as to what's going on, I'll be completely honest with you.
It was a very bold move by Lost Souls. I gotta admit, they straight up just ran in and go for the plant, and yeah, obviously Illysium would not expect that, but they had the ability to retake it. So with smoke on board, they could smoke it out and kill whoever is stuck in the barbed wire in the smoke.
Yeah.
And of course, they had defenders on yellow, and that's the issue, right? No one was holding yellow. The IQ was upstairs trying to take out the mute jammer from piano, and it worked, but they still had no control upstairs. So
they got the kill on the IQ really quickly as well. By the time they had taken control over yellow, the Hibana was already going down for that. Realistically, that the Hibana should have probably waited for a little bit of a critical, or wait for it to actually be on yellow to hold that person running out with the C4 or throwing it over. Because I don't think there was much coordination going on there. I think they had a plan to start with and didn't really adjust to the situation very much.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing here from Lost Souls because they're playing the gridlock. So what people don't understand about gridlock is that she is not supposed to be a flank watch operator. She kind of is. Realistically, actually, she is a flank watch operator. But where she really thrives, that most people don't realize, is that she is very good at area denial in the late round. So when you have a plant down and you have to prevent a retake from the defenders, your spikes on the floor will be very useful for that. And the smoke grenade you have as well. So really, it's just, in this case, I would expect Lost Souls to go straight for the plant inside of CEO with behind that desk, as usual. The good stuff, you know. But the gridlock would be very helpful at preventing anyone from crossing into CEO in the first place with those traps. And, well, we're about to see him in action. Gridlock has made her way onto the rappel. Though it's only very early in the round, so she's going to be droning first before she makes a move on anything.
I mean, really, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, as I was saying, sorry, but Jaeger has been taken out, unfortunately. But anyway, I was gonna say, top 4, I believe, has one of the lowest win rates of any site on this map. Like, arguably, it's probably one of the worst in like the main field.
Defender is exposed.
Oh no.
Oh no, no. It's a bit of a technical error there, but I think we're all good here. Rooney has successfully made it back into the building, but the attackers should be now aware of her position. I mean, we have people on rappel on like almost every single window up top, so it's really going to be risky here for any defenders to be trying to pass through. But Mute does get taken out to about 50 HP here, trying to go for a little bit of a flank, I believe. Or was he below? I'm not certain, but Sneaky does find the kill onto Twisty. But it's now a 5v3 situation in favor of Lost Souls.
Bomb
But
located
no one's on
by
site.
attackers.
If you looked at it, you could see that no one was on site except for one person. So if anything, Lost Souls can go straight for the plant right now, but they're not watching their faces. Like, maybe they're watching the fight, but they're not watching directly in front of them. Except for Sneaky, who's now managed to kill the Mute who pushed up initially, but not watching out for bullying. And now the Mozzie on yellow is stuck though, and he cannot cross in without being spotted, and he will be spotted and caught red-handed by the gridlock. And that will be another round there for Lost Souls. 2-1 up.
I'm not really sure why, like, I believe 3 other defenders were off site there when only 4 of them were left alive. Like, one of the Jaeger got taken out quite early, and that should have been a call that to rotate back. But even after the Jaeger had been taken out, the Rooney was still on the bottom floor. Not entirely certain why the Mute decided to go for a full-on rotate there. Not really one of those defenders I'd see playing that sort of aggression. Mozzie on the yellow stairs as well. Even though it's a strong position to have, he'd used his C4 quite early on, and with the Roni, even though it has got the high fire rate, it is a good gun, it hasn't quite got the bullets to be taking on these gunfights against such a little, so many defender, opposing, what's the word? I've forgotten how to speak English for a moment, but I'm sure you know what I mean. The opposition.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
And we talked about it before, the windows. There are windows everywhere. You cannot play safe. I think that was one of the reasons why Illysium off-site, most of them, because there's nowhere safe to play, and whoever played on-site died in that those 2 people who died initially, I think they were playing on-site, and there's nowhere safe for them to sit. So the rest of the team got punished as a result because the defenders on-site could not stay alive, unfortunately. So ultimately, I think it's up to how Illysium would want to set up their defense to allow for more playing up on the site. Because if they don't, then that is exactly what just happened. Now, there's not really a change up so far from Illysium, so they're not doing anything specifically to really turn this one around on its head. So like I said, the priority is to make sure that when you can retake onto the site and not from outside of it. Because last time the Mozzie was stuck on yellow and couldn't go anywhere. There's nowhere for him to go. So, you know, they gotta at least give themselves some room to breathe, and from the fact that there have been no operator changes, it's a bit concerning.
They're missing a site rotate. They've got no rotate between sites.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's an uh-oh indeed. A Mute is kind of stuck here on spiral stairs as well. He can't really cross over. I do believe they have got meeting windows open, so he's kind of just stuck here waiting for this buck to be in view. I want to comment on one thing I just saw during that setup. The head holes here in bathroom, even though they do provide a lot of like an advantage for the defenders here, the second they take, if there's one person on rappel on bathroom, that entire CEO doorway, the front desk, is completely unplayable for the defenders. I mean, Buck just got the kill onto the Jaeger from a complete,
Attackers have dropped the bomb.
you just can't play top floor realistically. I mean, one of the best ways to play this is probably just relying on in-house and just kind of hoping no one knows where you are. Like, that's how you play top floor, in my opinion.
Throwing grenade.
That shield, right? The AD is not protected.
Bomb located by
That
attackers.
got taken out. Nothing took out the grenade. And so the position played here by Twisty with that shield
bomb has
is
been
not
located.
secure anymore. It was never secure in the first place because
Yeah.
he could repel on CEO and kill this player.
So
Standing right here.
connector, because look where he's positioned right now. He's right by the door connector. The second somebody just pre-fires that barricade down, that Nazi is going to be taken out.
Attackers
Well,
recovered
at least
the
for this
diffuser.
round, Lost Souls are not going on repel on connector or on CEO, so they are allowed to. So they are allowed to play this fight. Oh, again a double
kill!
from
I mean,
below.
that is a diffuser now down in meeting. So if attackers do want to have a favorite in winning this, they will have to take out the defenders or even try to retake their. It's quite difficult because they're going to have to go into the opposite defender. I mean, Mute able to get the kill onto Axe, put this now in a 3v2 situation, and Thermac gets taken out as well by the Mozzie. Mozzie's on an absolute killer.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Find the kill onto Chap for the 2v1. But 1v1, oh, really gotta pull this through. Come on, put your bets. Who's gonna win this one? GA versus Roni.
I'm gonna put it on Twisty because he has a Roni, so he's gonna land a headshot before the IQ does. But the thing is, I think he also has the information on the IQ. I'm not sure because last time the C4 was tossed from below, and well, now he's gonna make the move because he hears the diffuser going down. He's gonna swing it, and the IQ is not picked at all.
Oh,
I got
wonderful.
it. I got 1 point for me. I called it. Did you call it, or did you call the IQ to win?
I didn't know who I was gonna win, to be honest with you. I just kind of wanted to know. I was neutral there, a little. Oh gee, look at this score. Twitch is actually killing it right now. 8-4, whole 2 KD. I mean, technically Twisty has a 2 KD as well. With a 4-1 too. It's looking really close. So like the rounds are coming down to like a 1v1. So other than that one garage attack, but we're gonna ignore that one since that seemed to be a little bit of a fluke. I'm not really sure what was going on. It was kind of rushed through. But like they are playing it quite well. I'm liking the fact that they're not gonna go for the same over and over. Like the first time they went for the repels on the console windows, and the second time seemed to be more admin side take. So I'm liking a little bit of a variation. It makes it a little bit more interesting to watch for both us and the viewers as well.
Attackers have discovered the
It
location
also,
of a bomb.
you know, it's more advantageous for them since defenders will find it a bit more difficult trying to adapt to how the attackers are going to be playing. If you're running the same thing over and over and over again, it just becomes so easy to try and just counter.
Well, Cafeteria is back on the board after the last rush attempt by Lost Souls completely flopped. So this time I expect them to just play normally, you know? But if they were really mad, as in super duper mad, they would just, as in insane, right? They would just go straight for another rush. And like this time, who's gonna expect it? At least this time though, they would have to win their gunfight. If they can win their gunfights and rush, then that would work. But I don't think Illysium would let them though. And so far Illysium have pointed their utility to look at the backside, look at archives. They want their focus there, which means if Lost Souls can make a quick work on the front side, then they can take advantage of us. Then they can take advantage of Elysium's neglect. Sorry, did I say Lost Souls? Illysium. Anyway, Lost Souls could take advantage of Elysium's neglect and get that front side plant. And now the thing is, bullying might be primed for a run out. I think someone would have that camera in position. Someone would have to be waiting for the rappel on outside of piano, which would be relayed by his teammate. And if so, then he can go for the run out. But no one is out there, which is problematic. But not so problematic for Twisty, as he's gotten a kill onto ANX. He has peeked him from Visa.
That is a huge kill actually, because looking by this, like the line that they have going on right now, they have the nomad, they got the bug. So that to me seems to go to some more vertical play. Taking that bug off the board will limit the amount that they can play on vertical. Like hasn't got any sort of like breaches in play. I don't think anybody does. He does get the kill on the board, even up the score to a 4-4, but Alofix has taken quite a bit of hits as well. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if there's any air jabs on these spiral stairs stopping Twisty from pushing up. I'm gonna assume there could be other.
Oh, good night, good night, good night.
Good night, that's a good night in the fucking house. Jesus, that was something for sure. That was
wow,
nice.
Twisty smoked him, and now he's made it a 4v3, and he's got another kill. He's on fire.
That SMG control, man, absolutely killing it right now.
Even if he doesn't hit the headshot, the TTK is one of the best in the game. It doesn't even matter. He might be primed for a third here, but he's very low HP, so even a stray bullet would just kill him straight up. But he's hiding it.
Sorry, go on.
He's hiding it under the staircase, and well, it's not gonna work out because someone has the information on him, and he will not get revived, I believe, especially if Hibana swings in right now. Hibana is wary that someone might be holding him, and the mute might be used as bait. But not really, because they are now. Illysium are waiting for this push in from Hibana to make something happen. Oh, that could have been a shot onto the Yana upstairs. And well, Hibana, you might just want to go in, you know. There we go. That's a kill onto Twift. The impact player in this round has been taken out, making it a 3v2. So potential to win for this round, but it's just gone now.
Seconds to go.
2v1, actually that refrag coming out from Sneaky, taking out that Mozzie, and never mind. There goes that dream.
I was about to say the potential to win this round was possible, but then he just got killed by the Mozzie, so it was over. Nothing could be done.
They couldn't get breach control. I mean, they lost the back, meaning they couldn't get the floor open to try and find where the meat jammers were. They were just kind of hopelessly shooting through the floor since they didn't opt to bring the IQ either. And obviously, mute jammers stopped any sort of drones being able to come down, so they couldn't even just ping what mute jammers were. So, I mean, after all, played up on the defense.
Well, strategically, they had no chance of winning that on paper, but sometimes you can pull out a rabbit out of your hat, you know? So by winning those gunfights, they could have potentially done it, but I'm always just like a bit optimistic like that, but realistically, they had no chance. After the round's over, I can say that.
Like that attack, that side goes from one side into another. Like it's so defender side, they can get that breach open, and then it's just so much more in favor of the attackers. It does lock off a bunch of places for the defenders to play. With that breach open, though, they could just completely run around the entire site and just be wherever they wanted to be. There was nothing to stop them there. They didn't have any verticals in play either. I mean, doesn't look like they're going to retry for Archives Talent, however, so it seems like what they had on their first round, except this time they got a bit more warm-up in. I mean, they have been absolutely killing it, so maybe we won't just see Mira left on 1v3.
10 seconds remaining.
What do you think 1v3? I'm not really sure.
5
Look at
seconds.
the facility placement, though. I believe that smoke tried to put... No, that's not smoke. Oh yeah, there's a smoke,
Attacker's
sorry, my
objective is
bad.
to locate a bomb and defuse it.
And he tried to place his shield to face towards Archives so that he can hold that hallway. So right now, Illysium are fully expecting Lost Souls to go straight for that horizontal push again, which, well, unfortunately for Illysium, they lost that 1v1, but on paper, well, that could have gone either way. So that round that was won by Lost Souls wasn't really done by them winning strategically, but because there were a lot of trades back and forth, so really, that round was won by gunfight, and this round, Lost Souls have made their way quick into cafeteria again, so Illysium are expecting correctly, and they know that Lost Souls are going to go for the same push again.
I quite like the fact that they didn't opt for the smoke to be roaming this time. I mean, that was a bit of a iffy decision that first round, so I like to see that it's actually in sight now. Feel a bit more useful there, in all honesty. But really, when to take control of the cafeteria so quickly that, I mean, Elysium should have expected that take again, but I mean, there's not much they can really do right now until they get. Do they even have the intel of where the defenders are right now? I'm not seeing much going on, but it's not really seeing much perspectives.
You have 4 people downstairs. Where's the 5th one? Is a question.
I believe it's is it the third mine? Outside, I believe.
No, I mean the defender.
Oh,
Oh,
the defender.
twist! Oh, the flank!
Oh.
It's coming! And if no one's watching these drones because there are 5 players alive, normally when that's the case, no one's on drones. Now, there might be 1 on drone now because the thermite is gone, so this might be a bit dangerous for this game to push. And that air jab, well, he has a line of sight on that air jab, so he's waiting, and well, stop waiting. He has taken it out, and he's made his way down. Oh, the Nomad, oh, almost a whiff, but he's got it. The second! Who's not watching it? Why are you not watching it?
No!
And, whoa. Oh.
I mean, he got 2 kills out of that and put them into the advantage.
Bomb
Even though he got
located
traded
by
off there by
attackers.
the Buck. The Buck is now on about 60 HP here. He's
Attackers recovered the
pretty
diffuser.
definitely with that flank. The air jab positioning was a bit off. It wasn't even a bit off, to be honest. The air jabs just aren't as good. I don't know what it is at the moment. I just feel like they just don't work the way they should. But
Yeah, but I would say that could have been latency or something that caused Habana to not react when she got the call out that the Jaeger flanked on yellow, because Habana was still on his drone. So that was why I asked, why is no one watching it? Because where was the response? And now where's the response from Illysium? Because they are downstairs in the 2v3, and the fuse can go down freely because the post is dead, and they have no information. So that was an easy plan for Lost Souls.
on board either, so they are going to rely on either the smoke to try and get the things off. But I mean, right now I'm not even sure what's going to happen. I don't really know what to predict on this one.
Well, Lost Souls, they would have to go for the retake, and they would have to find both members. They found the first one. It's a 3v1 after the Buck, and he has no chance. He's been swung from 2 sides. And that is the crossfire teamwork you need from Illysium to win that round. So even though they gave the plan away to Lost Souls, the control was fully in the hands of Illysium because they could very easily just swing these attackers when they are cornered, and there's no chance for them. Now we're going to be switching sides, and Illysium have won 4-2, but I've seen this happen a lot before, where teams just win 4-2 and then win no attack round whatsoever, because attack can be a bit tough. Especially from what we've seen so far from Lost Souls, then Illysium might struggle, but if Illysium have the momentum so far, then they can keep going. Now, Twift, he's on 12 kills, 5 deaths, he is on fire, he is
Definitely killing
on
right
top.
now. One thing I have noticed, like from this first half of the game, is that it does appear that Elysium are a lot more coordinated than Lost Souls. Like the way that Elysium have been able to adapt to the attacks and like go for these flanks, to call that just that on that one round alone, they're able to push like pinch up onto that buck so he cornered from every direction. I mean, they definitely seem to have the better coordination, whereas Souls seem to have a good start. When they start to execute it, I don't think they really know what to do from then, because they're not adapting so much to the defenses, they're kind of just going from what they know, which is a good thing in some occasions, but against a team like Illysium, like how we've seen, it's making it so great.
Glass, they're playing Glass and comp.
I mean, it's consular. I honestly can't even miss this.
I'm not chastising them. I think it's great. It could actually work because Glass, if you go for a plant on the CEO window, you could smoke it off and pretty much hold it. Glass, I think he's viable in some cases, and in this specific room, he could be useful. And there are no mirror windows to hold it, so really, who's gonna stop him, right? And that plant can go down if no one can give up the information. But the thing is, there are 2 C4s in the hands of Lost Souls, so if someone is downstairs, then they can deny this plant, and then it'll be a big problem for whoever's repelling still on CEO. That's not dead.
What are they doing?
What are they doing?
Having a little chat.
Oh no, the headgear. Oh no. Oh. Twisty's dead. And unfortunately for Illysium, they cannot even play this round because Chaps has a headgear on, so he is primed for an execution. By that I mean getting shot in the head, because you cannot have illegal headgear or uniform in this league.
They have just allowed it though. The other team have allowed it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, we're fine. We get to see a Glass in play. I thought it was lost there. I'm so sad.
Yeah, but at the same time, Twisty and Spock are both lost. So, well, while we get the Glass back in play, it's still 3v5 because, well, there's a trick. Sorry, I had to take a second to read his name. He's killed 2 people. Effortlessly. It's not even close. He might get a third here. But bullying, he's not gonna get that kill yet, so he's gonna have to run back outside, and at least to coordinate this round with his teammates, they will have to go for the plant, and someone will have to be on the bathroom rappel. And there is a smoke from Glass. He should be able to see the defenders on the side of that little connector room, but so far they're not repelled in for the plant just yet. But no, that's very curious though, because if Sophia can see where that mute is playing, then she could get an easy kill onto him. But Twift has fallen off, and he's trying to get the kill onto the Mozzie who ran outside of Garage. So far, the attack from Illysium just keeps getting delayed and delayed, first by deaths, and then now by an attempt to rope clear from them. So they're not really setting a solid goal to what they want to do, unfortunately.
It's so unfortunate they spent about a minute and like 10 seconds to the start of the round just trying to ask about the headgear. I think realistically then they should have just let it go through and just leave the Glass in sight, having Habana as well. Just still waiting in spawn about, kind of wasted a bit of time, and it's such a time-heavy game. I mean, it's a 2v5 in favour of Lost Souls. We're able to get the kill onto the Mozzie finally, but after spending a good, like, maybe 40 seconds just trying to clear out this one player, it's not looking too great for Elysium this round.
I don't think they honestly because everything is locked down by Lost Souls. So, and they're not even playing as a team, they're just pushing one by one right now. Chaps is on top of Admin, he's got 1 kill. Well, he might get another one, which he won't, unfortunately. And now there's the last hope of Illysium just gone. At least they got 2 kills in the end, but there were too many defenders still alive for them to do anything. And too many bodies have already been dropped on the side of Illysium, so ultimately nothing could be done. Lost Souls pick up a round to make it 4-3 against them, but it's a start. They can make this comeback.
I mean, I think that round all came down to just the time they were wasting at the beginning. I think if they had the full 3 minutes, I think it would have been possible. I mean, they had the lineups ready, and I'm not too sure of what their plan really was, since obviously it kind of fell apart before it even began. But we've seen them being quite organised. We've seen them work well together. So at round number 8, they still have the advantage here. Who knows how this is going to go? It's Cafeteria Garage. I believe they did have the 2 hard breaches.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Yeah, they do. And there's no sledge, no buck though, so...
Attackers have discovered the location
aren't
of
going
a
to be a
bomb.
thing here unless they have the breach charges.
They should. They should have the breach charges on Sophia and Ash, so Lillian and Spock should be able to at least do the things that Sledge and Buck would normally do. Personally, I just really like Buck, so I would have preferred them to go that, and just get the floor open real quick. And as for Sledge...
I forgot it shows at the top of the observer
10
now
seconds
that how much
insertion.
breach charge and stuff they have. I completely forgot that was there.
5 seconds
Oh,
left.
it's been there for a few months, I believe. So
Yeah, I just forget about I know it's been there for a
Attackers
while, but I
objective
completely
is
forgot
to
about
defuse
it, but
the
they do have breaching charges, so that's a good one.
it's fine. It's all like I read out of there ever anyway.
And they've got 3 sets of flashes as well as a claymore, so... I mean, the claymore and the air jab, no flags, I mean... well, okay. What are they gonna go for here? I'd imagine they're gonna go for the breach, they're gonna have to. 2 hard breaches, they're gonna go for here.
I'm reloading.
And the defenders are pretty spread out, and we've got the Mozzie in a bit of a room here, with Lucy holding the yellow stairs. So they've got quite a bit of control, and it's going to take the attackers a little bit of time to just kind of drone out, just figure out what's going on. Are they going for a complete top down?
They are going for a complete top down, and they've made their way down spiral. So a lot of control has been established by Lost Souls, and so far they are worried about this Mozzie in the lobby. Oh, good night.
But
Twisty, he just got smoked there. The Roni is just so good as a weapon. It's just so powerful.
gun. I like Nomad has quite good guns as well, but compared to the Roni, man, nothing these days. It's just such a quick fire. I mean, Mozzie's now been taken down to about like 20 HP here by the Zofia, I do believe, but he's still roaming quite strongly. He's still up in Visa, and he's still gonna be a bit of a nuisance to these attackers.
Well,
It's so hard, man.
but the thing is, where's the Mozzie right now? I think he's still present. Checking him, and wow, look at that. He's on the top floor. And the thing is, sure, they have someone on the fight drones, I believe, but if they're not careful, then the Mozzie could just go for a straight fight here, and he could do a lot of damage because a lot of the attack is coming from the first floor to get any vertical angles onto the defenders in the garage. And now that's the Melusi with the MP5. She's gonna pick up a kill. Sneaky
Attackers have
gets
located a bomb.
Sneaky will get spots, and now it's a 3v5 as Illysium are slowly letting this round slip out of their grasp. It's just getting worse and worse for them.
I mean, losing
Oh,
that
oh,
the
Changing megs.
Sneaky is getting the second kill of the round onto Twip and Van up forward. They still have the Thermite in sight, actually. A whole lot of onto Bully. Even Thermite now in a 1v5. It's still possible. Thermite has got a keep it done with the Melusi quite strongly on yellow stairs there. Flawless round, let's go in favour of the defenders. It's just, they're not utilising the time. They're spending a lot of time just on... I'm not even sure. It's just like they're quite slow is what it seems to be right now. They know what they're going for, but they spent a lot of time trying to clear out there. And realistically, a drone or two would have done the job for that top floor. And I do believe the Mozzie was only on the second floor to begin with. Or middle floor.
and it's a tie game. So really, like I said before, there's always a lot of these games where the attack just completely flops. So we could potentially see a 7-4 here if Lost Souls can keep up this perfect streak of theirs and just keep demolishing Illysium. And Illysium, they gotta do something about this aggression from Lost Souls, because Lost Souls are just playing in their face and they win it. The Mozzie, like, he was playing in lobby, and like, how often do you see someone play in lobby in piano? Because it's a death trap, you know?
Attackers need to
So
locate and
they're
defuse
fearless
bombs.
so far, and it's working out for them because they cannot outduel these defenders. Now they're gonna go to lobby, so that is gonna make it a bit different. And well, at least it's different because this side
Bomb
has a
located
lot
by
of windows,
attackers.
which means the defense will have to play upstairs to at least counter it. So I would expect Illysium to push admin or something, push admin or CEO, so that you can flush out these defenders upstairs. And then if you have the nomad, then you can cut off these flanks. And well, so far, despite having the nomad,
10 seconds to insertion.
I think because they have the nomad, Lost Souls are not going for
5
many
seconds to
runouts
insertion.
at all in that last round or the round previously. They did do it twice,
Attackers are heading out
but
to defuse
it
a
wasn't
bomb.
exactly anything that got any kills because those were a bit obscure angles. For example, one of them ran out from garage to try to kill the person on CEO, and he did a lot of damage, but he gave away his position. He could not do anything. Oh, there comes the admin push from Illysium that I talked about. So this is definitely a horizontal take above, and then to play vertical downstairs. And with the sledge on board, they can do just that.
It's quite crucial when it comes to taking control. It's almost a death trap kind of low. I mean, they got the kill onto the Mozzie. I mean, they still have to deal with this rook above. But one play off the board, looking at that advantage. That Mozzie was causing quite a bit of distress for them previously, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite satisfying for them now to finally be able to take him out to begin with. Because he has been quite good in the room, I can't lie. I don't know how you say his new play, but he's been quite good.
Physitrix.
Yeah, his roaming and his just presence has just been so strong. I don't actually think we've seen Illysium actually touch site yet. They've spent so much time just trying to clear people out there. I'm not actually sure how they're gonna how it's gonna show up when it comes to actually taking control and go for this plan.
The control is still firmly in the hands of Lost Souls, and oh, what is
double
this?
kill!
Double!
Oh.
Well, Sneaky's, he just holding the line here, and he doesn't have to worry about anything, and the AD has to save his life. And he has Alopex to protect him. These two defenders are single-handedly stopping anything from Illysium from happening. So, the revolver peak, well, immediately punished. He was trying to go for one tap, but he doesn't get it. The bit of a greedy move, but I mean, he is allowed that prerogative because it is a 3v1. And they're just gonna try to get that last kill to get the next round going, because they know that it's over. But Spox, he might have something to say about it if he can clutch this 1v3. But there's a lot of time for him to do that, so we'll see if he can do it or not.
In this sort of position, use this last minute to try and communicate with your team as to what to do better the next round. I think that's what they want to be doing here. I mean, they haven't got any sort of control. He has got defuse in hand, and he still is on full health. With still 2 drones in pocket. So if they wanted to, they could probably go for a bit of a drone. But with only 40 seconds left of the round, trying to take the control of the site and try to go for the plan isn't going to be very easy for them.
And he's gonna waste that grenade.
Yeah. I mean, just using the last 30 seconds to communicate with the remainder of the team would be the play here.
Oh.
There's a bit of a disagreement this part by the looks of it, but there we go. That is the Ayana taken down as defenders do that round. It's a very, very strong above presence. I mean, 2 players alone are able to take down that entire attack side.
That's honestly a very, very good hold there from the Rook and the Jaeger. So the thing is that Illysium did nothing to try to force that player out of connector, right? So, I mean, at most you could have someone go on connector with a rappel and put pressure there, and then it would be harder for him to play there. But because no one did anything about him, he just sat there and peeked both the players who ran into the room and ran into his crosshair. And the sledge, I mean, if he had the SMG-11, he could have potentially won that, but he just got nerfed. So the only thing he had was the L8, and well, in a gunfight where headshots mostly matter, then the MP5 is just better on top. And now, well, Lost Souls have taken the lead, 5-4 from a 2-4 deficit. So I think Illysium are quite broken up right now. It's definitely a bit of a momentum loss from them, and it's going to be hard for them to recover from this if Lost Souls can take this to match point.
It's definitely interesting to see, because I thought originally that Illysium had such a strong chance of winning this. They were so they've proved themselves quite a lot on their defenses, but maybe their attacking isn't quite as strong as
Attackers
we've
have
seen.
located a bomb.
Whereas Lost
10
Souls
seconds
seem to be
to
really,
insertion.
really strong with apparently their gun skill here. I
5
mean,
seconds
they
to
are
go.
just completely wiping out these attackers before they can even get in this site. They're not even getting
Attackers'
close to it. They're
objective
just
is
so
to defuse
focused
the
on these
bomb.
roamers. The presence of where these players are. They just don't even know half the time as to where anybody is, and that's just what's caused them to take down. I don't think they even knew they were in connected, since with all 5, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, all 5 of their players went straight for their admin take. They kind of just put it up a little bit here, have a couple players, like focus 1 or 2 players on trying to clear out these roamers, and the rest to try and actually execute. But they're just focusing every single person in one position, and it's just what potential they could have.
Gemini's offline!
Oh, they found the Monty downstairs, but they cannot act on that information yet. Monty just needs to move out of there pretty quickly, and the information is being relayed, so the yellow ping comes out. But they're not getting it right, and Visitrix, the Mossy, he just keeps going and going, and he's gotten 1 kill. I think that was C4's toss outside of yellow door, and it's landed, no, it was behind a soda machine, so he got the kill onto the Ash. It wasn't even close in the end for him. It's simply, Visitrix is on fire right now. He initially even tried to spawn peek, so that's how confident he is in these gunfights. He's winning though, so he's gonna keep going. So someone from Illysium will have to shut him down if they want to at least get a win, you know? You gotta stop the most confident player on the enemy team if you want to win his next gunfight, because confidence is really, honestly, everything in this game. Well, almost everything, realistically.
If you're confident you're going to win a gunfight, it's just kind of it's such an advantage, just pure confidence. If you know you're going to win that gunfight, you're going to be much more inclined to actually swing and get the kill. Whereas if you're not too certain, you're just wasting time umming and ahhing, and it gives enough time for the defenders to just reposition at that point. But Sneaky does find the kill onto Twisty, putting this now at a 5v3 situation, and they're just causing so much devastation just like purely roaming. Like Visitrix right now is such a strong player for the defense. I can't lie to you. He's
Attackers have
the
located a bomb.
backbone for this team.
Oh,
you know, for
no.
their defenses.
Oh, wait, he just passed the sledge?
Oh no.
He actually just passed the sledge. Chaps
couldn't
gets a
it?
kill, but the refract is there from Visitrix. He's watching that. That was I think he would have. I think the Rudy probably laughed to himself after that one. To inside.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I passed this guy in soda machine, and well, at least he got a refract. So he's
Attackers
fine
bomb
with it.
diffuser has
And
been
not
dropped.
even close there for the Hibana, who gets absolutely destroyed by Sneaky. And now Lost Souls are primed to take match point, guarantee a draw. It doesn't mean anything really in the end, but it's for the ego. And so far, Lost Souls have everything they need to brag, because they're winning this massively. Not even close here for Illysium Esports anymore.
I mean, you'd think like with the 4-2 down, that's kind of a bit of a motivation drop loss there. But I mean, they've pulled it through. They're not like losing any sort of hope, and it's definitely paying off. Like you could just tell by the way these teams are playing. Elysium's slowly losing their motivation to just keep going, whereas Lost Souls are just getting more confident. Like we didn't see as like these players just showing up as much on their first half, but Visitrix right now, he's getting these kills. He's just going for it, completely like destroying. Like, even though he may not be top fragging for their team as of right now, he's just pushing these attackers around. He is controlling right now where Elysium are allowed to play. It's just so much devastation one player can cause if he's not droned out correctly. Even with the drones, nobody's acting upon it. Like the Ayana clones coming through, getting the information where the Mozzie is, but there's nobody actually like on the windows or flanking up behind it, so they're not able to actually get the kill on it. They just know, oh, Mozzie's roaming, but by now I'm sure they're aware of this.
Attackers
They
need
did
to
get
locate
someone
and
to
defuse as many
push
bombs
up
as they
to the
can.
benches window and hold the rotate from the Mozzie, but the thing is, and then the Ash just ran in on the soda machine and tried to kill
Bomb
the
located by attackers.
Mozzie, and he's got C4 to hell. So really, it was not. There is some attempt to try to pinch these players, but it's not done very correctly at all.
The
It's
person
just a bit.
on the window was the Ayana, so she just roamed it out, and in the couple seconds it takes between her going out of this animation, the Mozzie was able to move.
I mean, of course. So that would mean that they would have to be more wary of this Mozzie's presence. You're right. So they should not have pushed in like that. Honestly, they should have droned it again. Like at least establish some more control on the windows and piano, and then drone it again. Because sometimes you have to drone more than you enter the building if you want to stay alive. And so far, because Lost Souls have won that round so confidently, They don't even reinforce body damage. And now Elysium are rushing into Visa. And that's the first kill for Twift. That is finally the first time, I believe, that Elysium got an opening frag. And now they're going to rush into Visa. They know that they cannot push directly because all hope will be lost. So they rush down to the archives, which will now allow them to push horizontally into cafeteria. And if Lost Souls are not aware of this, then they can be caught off guard and be susceptible to a fight from Bizatrix. Again, this man is doing everything for his team on defense. He got another kill over the but he's gonna miss his shots and he's gonna run off. But oh, someone is up there on top. ANX has gotten the frag, and now it's a 3v4 as everything is collapsing for Elysium. This could be the last round of the season, basically.
I mean, it's definitely looking like it. Lost Souls at a 4v3 advantage here. Bullying is somehow managed to make his way into security room, but with the Alders sitting right behind the corner. The second pushes up, I think, the last call, even with the flashes there. But Bullying actually gets taken out by Bizatrix, who's yet again completely flanking around. Like I said, he's deciding where these attackers can be and where they can't. He's such an impactful player right now, but Twift gets taken out as well. It's Chaps left now, and it's able to get the Havana up, which is more like gonna happen. C4 comes through, unfortunately isn't able to get the kill, but okay, Twift
It's
is
over.
now.
It's
Yeah, it's gotta be Bizatrix getting the final kills of the round, and this closes out Season 5 Minor League with Lost Souls taking that win 7-4. They didn't lose a single defense there. What a strong defense. Let me just turn my camera back on again.
Did I not say that it would win 7-4?
Hi. Oh my jeez, that was something, I have to say.
Did I not say they won 7-4?
You did say that. You did call that. I mean, I kind of agree with you there. I can't lie to you, but I mean, I was hopeful. I kind of did want to see Elysium pull through because it was such a strong team to start off with. It was just quite unfortunate to see it go that way in the end. A bit of a lack of motivation towards the end, I suppose.
Sneaky got that MVP in the end, but I think it should have gone to Bizatrix, to be honest, because Bizatrix controlled that entire second half, and that was so much more crucial because those were most of the rounds that Lost Souls won were on defense, and Bizatrix controlled most of them. So I think he should have gotten MVP instead of Sneaky, but ultimately it's just the score in this game that determines who gets the MVP. And Bizatrix will be second place, but he was probably the most valuable player in that match, hands down for me at least.
Even when he didn't get the actual kill itself, I'm sure he provided plenty of communication with the rest of his team to just kind of sneak up on the attackers as well. He was just such a crucial player there, and honestly, I need that guy to roam for me because Jesus, he is good. All right. Just
All right. So with that win by Lost Souls, I believe, according to the standings, right, Lost Souls are now up nothing. They're nothing. They're
nothing
still
happened.
they're still in sixth place. I mean,
Woo!
even if they got one spot up, it doesn't change anything.
It's a solid 6th place at least.
I mean, if Elysium won, then they could have gotten sixth place instead, and then they could brag about it. But in the end, they didn't, and then nothing changed.
I mean,
But Lost Souls can say, but next time Elysium, they cannot talk. They cannot. If anyone from Elysium try to talk shit to Lost Souls, then they cannot because Lost Souls have the win to back it up. So the ego is there to. I mean, not the ego is there, but I mean like they have the right to ego.
I mean, the way they were playing, the way they came back, man, I have to say, is just. I didn't want to. I didn't expect it, to be honest. I thought that was going to be a good old, maybe like a 7-2, 7-3 even for Elysium. But they come back. They come back on the Consulate of all things, which, in my opinion, at least, is much more an attacker-sided map. Like as we were saying at the start, there's so many windows, so many openings, but they weren't being utilized very well by the attackers, and I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of a lack of utility being used. We do see that quite a bit in T4, but overall, though, that was definitely a deserved win for Lost Souls.
And I really must say that ultimately, that map just came down to the fact that it was super defender sided. So even though Elysium basically lost 5 rounds in a row, I just say that neither of these teams really have it in the back, honestly, in terms of attacking. But Lost Souls does have it a bit more because every time that Lost Souls lost a round, it was really two of them, I believe, were 1v1 clutches. So it was not anything that was like really one-sided, you know? So every single time that Elysium lost a round, they on attack, they lost pretty massively. They were completely locked out strategically. They were completely outgunned, outmanned. Whereas every time Elysium won a round, about two of them were clutches.
Yeah.
So
I was just gonna say is as well, like even we did have a community vote, which I don't believe there was a graphics for, but Elysium was the favourites to win there, with a 50% in favour of them winning, 20% on a draw, and 30% going to Lost Souls. So we did see the underdogs pulling through for this one. I mean, again, like I said, deserved. Visitrix, my guy.
I'm not gonna try to make any accusation, but I'm very sure that it is totally completely unbiased at all. In no way that it's not like, I mean, like you could have like 20 people on your social media team, you know, and then they participate
Yeah,
in the vote, and boom.
that is true.
Whereas
That
the other
is true.
team has like Whereas the other team has an org that's like super small. They have like 5 people on a social media team. So obviously, who's gonna win the vote, right? The team of 20 people on social media or 5?
Yeah, I suppose you got that. You got that point. All right, so there's no interview, but I mean the teams did play very well, and I actually got to cast for once, so I'm quite happy. And I think that's the end of the
Congratulations.
season. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. And Rick, do you want to say anything to end it off?
I do not. Unfortunately, I do not.
All right, well, I think that's it then from us, and we'll see you guys in September. 20th of September, I believe, is the next happening. But yeah.